Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. In today's episode, we are facing a 1950 with the Carl Khan, my favorite, best opening that is known to chess. It is so easy to play. This dude is from planet Earth. Looks like he doesn't play bullet. Oof, I hate this line. But essentially what we're going to do is we're going to trade off. We're going to bring the queen out. Go ahead, pre-move it. We get hit with the knight, and it's kind of like a Scandinavian-esque type idea. And so, anticipating the position right now, I'm missing pawns on this side of the board. So essentially, I'm not going to castle that way. I mean, castling this way, I'm on a super open file. So just taking one look at the position, I probably am going to want to castle this way. Now, what we're a little bit worried about is something like this. So it might make sense. Develop this first. We're going to develop this knight first. I guess knights are more flexible, so we're going to develop the knight first. Then we might go for this Fanketto idea. I think we're going to do it. I never play these types of structures. The queen, yes, has been attacked. I have a scarce amount of squares to go to that actually are very reasonable. These get in the way of my pieces, so we're not going to do that. This walks into an attack. This walks into an attack. This is taken. This... I'm losing track of what squares I should look at. Maybe this is actually the correct idea. I'm not actually sure. Or just going all the way back. Let's go over to the side of the board. I feel like that makes a fair bit of sense. At least I'm still doing stuff. Okay, he's going to hit me again. But in that case, we're getting ready to castle. If my queen does get attacked, bro, we're going all the way back. My queen has been battered around enough. We put the queen back. We're ready to castle. We castle. My king is now safe. I like my structure. Like I was saying earlier, the knights are more flexible than the bishop, and I'm not sure what I want to do with this bishop, so we're going to just bring this knight first. That's the general plan. We also have ideas of taking this and having two attackers on this pawn. Not sure what that did. We play this. I needed to develop my last minor piece, and so seeing that I've got a lot of these pawns on light squares, I think that just trading this off makes a decent amount of sense. We don't really want to see this guy jump forward. We're going to push this pawn. I mean, if this pin happens, we're okay with just vacating this back rank somehow. Maybe even we go back over here. What we need to be a little bit cognizant of... Okay, so yes, this pin just happened. We need to be a little bit worried about this knight coming into our position, okay? My queen is pinned. This is only defended by one piece, so what we're worried about is it getting attacked again, okay? So we essentially need to be able to avoid that, because if this happens, I just lose the game. Long story short, if this knight comes over, we lose the game. I can bring my queen all the way forward. That's a bold move. It defends against this. It defends against this. We're not going to calculate too much, but my opponent is playing very active. Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. In today's episode, we are facing a 1950 from planet Earth. It looks like he doesn't play very much bullet or blitz, and so we're playing a 5-minute casual plus 5-second increment. I've been really enjoying this time control. Okay, so I've explained this in my last 3 videos, so I feel like a broken record explaining this again, but the reason that we have to play this pawn move is because if we bring the knight, he can capture. If we capture back, he hits us with this fork where we step back with the bishop. We have to recapture when he takes. So it's just like this. Boom, 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 boom. And then he can hit us here. He occupies the center. It's just not super great for us. Or you develop, he takes, and you come out with the queen. He basically has to go back. You can win this pawn with check. The queen comes out and you trade like this. Whatever you do, it's an equalizing position for white. So we're going to strive not to have that happen. We're going to go ahead and develop this knight. If this pawn comes forward, we're going to try and break this pin. It has not happened yet, so we're going to just develop another knight. Once this pawn push does happen, okay, so he's prepping it like this, and he will be doing so with tempo, and the pin will become a problem. So we're going to stop at these ideas, essentially. So I think we have to take. Not sure what else we're supposed to do in that situation. We have 2 attackers, but he also has 2 defenders, so we're just going to step up here. If we get hit, we step back. If we get hit yet again, we step back. We step back. If we get hit again, you better believe we're just going to step back one more time. He could play this one as well and ruin my pawn structure in the center. And this pawn is also hanging, but it's not super hanging because of all of this. Okay, so we're going to take. We're going to trade this. It's scary to jump forward with this knight. But with threats, my friend, we jump forward with threats. Correct? We jump forward with threats. He comes here. I mean, scary to play that move, but we're going to just go ahead and do it. That is the idea. Plain and simple. I'm pretty sure he can just slide back with the rook. Like, I think that would be agreeable. Okay, so this slightly ruins the pawn structure in the center of the board. But what we need to be looking at now is my knight. When I get attacked, what am I doing? I mean, ruining my pawn structure over here? I actually don't hate it. What to play? What to play? I could just castle. I, for whatever reason, wanted to castle the other way, but we are just gonna play a safer game of chess. He probably will attack my knight. I'll probably have to go back here, and we end up with this ruined pawn structure. But he's got a ruined pawn structure in the center. And these pawns are going to be a little bit hard to defend, specifically this one that is already being attacked. So he attacks us. I mean, we can just take a look at our moves. Moving forward is not an option, not an option, not an option, not an option, only option, not an option. So that's the end of the calculation. I guess I could have pinned. This. So where if he takes, I take the rook. We still have this idea where potentially we do trade and he undevelops. So we can grab this pawn with tempo. And it's on a light square, so the bishop can't attack it. And I think I'm just up a pawn now. So he steps back. I kind of like this idea, where if he steps over, I trade this with check. I think this is the most active move. It's a little bit scary because does anything like this work? It's undefended. What's actually better? Developing my bishop. Let's just play safe. Let's just straight up play safe. I'm up a pawn. Everything's chilling. If I'm not an idiot, I won't lose this game. But I'm an idiot, so I might. He's attacking this pawn. I step forward to defend it, but then he jumps in here. Attacking this. And once he takes this pawn, he's also attacking this. What if I just push? He jumps in, and I step back. He could try something fancy. We're going to do this. Yeah, he jumps in. The bishop is hanging. But we defend the pawn. We're ready to just push forward. He gives us a check. I feel kind of safe over here. I think stepping up would have probably made more sense. Specifically, we don't want to... Oh, if I step forward, he's got this check. So I think I have to actually just give up my bishop. Because if I step forward, he's got this check. Where if I step up, he has this sacrifice where I have to take, but then he wins my rook. We have to take it. Rook on the open file. I'm going to have to push this forward at some point. This pawn is also pretty weak. And I need to... That just lets me trade the rook. Do we attack this? My king sucks. I want my king in action, bro. I can step back and attack the rook. If I attack, let's just attack. He can double up. If he doubles up, I attack the rook. We come in attacking the rook. If he takes, he slides in. I put my pawn in the light square. I struggle to get out in the endgame. If he plays this, I just take. So that pretty much forces this. And we're going into an endgame where I'm up a pawn, but I have the knight instead of the bishop, so I think that it's totally still equal. And my opponent has not spent any time at all. We're doing this. That's what we're doing here. And not only that, so I can play this. I'm literally going to have to spend like 10 moves trying to figure out. I think just putting the pawns on light squares because they're just not being attacked. Did I just get deep freezed, bro? We bring the king. If he hits us with check, we step back. He's got this. My pawns are completely deep frozen over here. We jump in. What's better? We attack this. He just pushes in. We hit him with check. He steps up. Here. Here. I could step over and go for a pawn push over here as well. This. What is better? I think this is pretty important, actually. Either one is probably fine. This attacks this pawn immediately. This is more centralized. I could do like this and fork these guys. We're doing this. We come back and jump in. Does he have a way of defending everything? We also have check forward. Here. This is not good. We're going for this. Wait, does that even do anything at all? This is defended. So if I attack this, he can just push or jump back. Actually, this does work. It at least applies pressure to something. But me winning this pawn, I'm in a deep freeze, and I should just explain this. No way of defending this pawn, but winning this pawn isn't actually all that great. We're going to take and then jump in, attacking the bishop. He comes here. I think we grab this pawn. We grab this pawn, then there's this check. So we go here, check. I get out. We're going here. We can come this way. We step this way. We're now attacking this. I can also remove the defender of this with this move right here. So if he plays this, I have to take. The king comes in. I hit him with this check. He moves somewhere. I hit him here. If I win this pawn, I have 3 passed pawns. But literally, this is the deep freeze. I'm going to explain this after the video. 1 pawn holding down 3. So I'm up 2 pawns, but it kind of sucks. I can also just attack first. Attack first. Move somewhere. Here. Here. Check. Let's not be foolish. Let's just play a move that makes sense. We attack this bishop. He lets go of the defense of this. I can also grab this. I'm not sure which one's more important. Okay. We're going to be all right. I'm so scared. He's kind of running out of moves. And his king is so far away from my passed pawn. And so I think that this pretty quickly just becomes the new idea. We're just going to take. My knight is very happy on this square. We're attacking this with check and the bishop. I think that does it. That is a beautiful, beautiful knight. Doing like 3 different jobs at once. Defending ideas here, attacking the pawn, attacking the bishop. We hit this with check. He has to react to it. We jump back to the light squares. If he gets 2... We step over. 49 seconds. I think we're chilling. I just hung a pawn. I've got plenty of time. I've got 3 extra pawns. Unless he is successfully able to... Guess we're going over here. We're going to get hit with another check. Then what do? Step back? Jesus. He can come in, but I get here. We attack the bishop. Pushing this, like, is probably the plan. I need this king to move so I can step up. We need my king on this square, essentially. But I need this to be defended. He can't cut my king off. We're going to step forward. We step forward. We step forward. We can now potentially shield and push. Check, defended. Check. Slowly making progress, my friend. We bring the king. Jesus. Hit him with a check. A check. We push this pawn. 53 seconds. It's a slow process, but I am going to be inching my pawns forward. This one first, maybe? This, then this. We step forward again. This is held by the knight. It's not stalemate, bro. Okay. There's probably a lot of different ways that I can win this, but I think the one that I'm going to choose is this. I could, for one, just give him a check, but then he steps over. So maybe we give him a check. He steps over. We're doing this. If he tries to block, we push and distract him. We're going to make the red carpet. Got to be careful about these stalemates. He can go here. He can still go here. And when he does, he can run away as well. You just got to be careful. 42 seconds. Make gosh darn sure you're not going to get a stalemate. And so that end game was so much fun to play. He's saying, good game, well played. Good game, well played. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to tell him that I'm going to make a YouTube video out of this. And so I was completely winning. That was a lot of fun to play. But oh boy, the bishop versus the knight. I had to inch one step at a time to make a new queen. And so that was a lot of fun. And let's check out the analysis and see how accurate it actually was. And I'll see you over there. And here we are in the analysis. And that was a tedious process, pushing all of those pawns in that endgame. But if we look at the graph, there was one moment where I was in trouble. It was a tactic that neither of us saw, but then from there on out, everything was good to go. So 90% accurate, 3 blunders, 3 inaccuracies. Don't hate it. And then our opponent, 86% accurate, 3 blunders, 3 mistakes, 7 inaccuracies. And so one of my blunders was a hanging piece, like just a straight up missed win. And then the inaccuracies don't matter at all. But 2 of my blunders mattered. Yes, one of them we didn't see, so it didn't matter all that much. But let's just hop right on into it. And so e4, e5 on the board, and we play the bishop's opening, my favorite opening in all of chess. And so I have learned through experience that pushing this pawn is generally safer than bringing this knight, because stuff can happen, and I avoid it, okay? Sometimes that happens. You do something, and it works, and you just keep doing it. And yes, there's like better lines and stuff, but I'm going to just stick to what I know. And so we get the pieces developed. For one, there is a pawn hanging in the middle of the board. Definitely didn't see that, so that was the best move, and I missed it. So whatever. It's not even an accuracy, because essentially I'm just going to kind of get attacked and battered around, and there's ideas of this, and I haven't castled. So doing this to prevent the pin when all of this stuff happens makes a fair bit of sense. Now we capture, and I play this. Now this is a blunder, but it's a little bit tactical to see this. You push the pawn. My knight has to go somewhere. It's the computer says just forget about it and lose the knight, because I'm going to lose the bishop later. But let's just say I play something in the middle. You capture, and then at the end of all of it, the knight moved away from this checking square and is no longer defending this bishop. So he just wins the bishop for free. And so, long story short, you're making the defender move, and you're making this check available. So we both missed it. I'm grateful he didn't play that, or I would have absolutely lost the game. We step around, and that's why those moves right there, blunder, because neither of us saw that. Then we capture, trade off the queens, the rooks come in, knight to the middle of the board. It's a risky decision, but I mean, what else was I going to do? Step back or step over here? I don't know. Knight to the middle of the board is the best move. It's undefended, and I don't have all that many great retreating squares, but it's still the best move nonetheless. Now, I have the opportunity to ruin his pawn structures for an equal trade. So obviously that is the best move. You ruined your pawn structures, and we traded a light square bishop for a light square bishop. Now, we castle. Being proactive and potentially even castling this way somehow, just being proactive would have made more sense, but I felt like being safe. So it's the difference of 0.3 of a pawn. So we're chilling. We step back. Yes, this ruins our pawn structure. We go ahead and grab this pawn. The best move is to get active. But, okay, now the best move is to take the pawn. Sometimes you got to let, stockfish think for a second. Also, we took the pawn with tempo on the bishop, so it can't be a bad move. He steps back. We develop the bishop. His knight goes to the middle of the board. We defend it. He steps over here. I step back to defend this pawn. He hits me with a check. I step over, and then his knight arrives. And so basically in this situation, we're going into an endgame where I'm up a pawn and you have a weak pawn. So trading the bishop for the knight kind of sucks for me, but trading off pieces in general sucks for the opponent. So we do trade off. We put a rook challenging the open file. He comes here. I mean, it's a reasonable move. We step over and attack the bishop, and he doubles up. And so I'm fairly certain there's just a tactic here. Like if I take and then take, I can take. Yes. So I could have just captured. I'm attacking this bishop. So if I take, yeah, the best move. I'm just attacking the bishop at the end of everything, and then I win this pawn. So we traded everything, but I'm but another pawn, and then I'm absolutely winning. So what I saw was forcing a trade of everything. So another blunder. It's a missed win. Neither of us saw it. Complete blunder, missed win. We trade everything off. And so if we look at this position right here, when you are down a pawn and you have a weak pawn, you keep the bishop on, keep the rook on the board. You don't want to trade everything off, because the more stuff you trade off, the more powerful the pawns and the kings become, and I have more of them. So if you look, I have a 3-on-2, and then your pawn structure is not that great. Like, yes, this is ruined, but at least they're together, and this guy is alone. So he's a liability in all of the endgames, because my king is going to run up there and touch him. Then your king has to stay touching him. It's not good, okay? So long story short, It's equal if he keeps the pieces on the board because we got a game of chess to play. Plus, he has 4 minutes and I have 2. So just thinking about that for a second, trading this off, now you willingly went into an endgame where I quite easily put all of my pawns, literally every single piece in my position is on a light square, so your dark square bishop doesn't see anything ever at all. Now, I'm in a deep freeze. Now, I was trying to explain this. This can happen a lot of different ways, but this is the worst possible scenario. One pawn is preventing the forward momentum of both of mine. And so it's worse when there's no pieces on the board and my king is far away. So just imagine just this structure. Like, I can't push either pawn because he just captures. It's terrible. It's not good. One pawn is holding down my 3. So I'm up 2 pawns, but these 2 pawns suck. And so we have the process of trying to bring my king. We jump the knight to the middle. I thought about which move is better. This is the better move. We step over here, and he hangs the bishop in 1 move. And what happened here is I got tunnel vision. Absolutely. Tunnel vision of forking these pawns. And so, for one, taking this one with check actually is maybe better because I can just take this with check, he does something, and then I go right back, and you can't even defend it because my knight defends this only square that his bishop can defend this pawn. So that would have made more sense. So there's like 3 knight moves that make sense, and I play the one that makes the least amount of sense because this one's with check, this one's a free piece, and this one didn't really change anything in this position because this is the pawn that I need to be winning. This one is largely doing nothing. Whatever. We're stepping around, and then we begin the rigmarole. I wanted to kick this bishop out because I felt like winning this pawn was more important. I guess what I really wanted here was to clarify these pawns, like get rid of all of these pawns and then just play on this over here is what I wanted. Because I was worried about, the king doing something and like trying to make a pass pawn, and the bishop's over here. My knight's kind of far away from helping. So that's what I was worried about. So whatever, we kicked the bishop out. I'm so stupid. Was the whole purpose of this move was so the bishop moves so I can grab this pawn? No? Correct? And then I take this pawn that I could have taken all along. So this pawn push didn't even really make sense. So now we take with check, he takes back, and we fork his pieces. Essentially, he can't defend this. When I take it, it's with check. I'm also attacking the bishop, so he's got to do something with the bishop. I grab this with check. I guess stepping here would have made more sense because it at least attacks the bishop. Whatever, we go here. You generally want to be thinking about how to be making moves forward. And so which square is more forward? Well, it's this one. So putting the knight there with tempo on the bishop makes more sense than here. Because essentially I'm just going to have to like figure out how to move the knight forward anyway. The whole purpose of what we're doing here is we are moving everything forward is the whole idea. And so whatever. Now in this situation, my pawn is attacked and I just said, it's gone. But the situation stays the same whether I push this pawn or not. So it would have made sense to just move the pawn forward. Then you have to like waste a move trying to figure out how to even attack it because the king can't get over there and the bishop can't see it. So just pushing it 1 square actually kept it quite safe. I just kind of assumed he was a goner and I was going to invest in these 3. Now, luckily, I'm up 3 pawns, so I'm going to win literally no matter what I play. But I do this a lot where it's like, okay, I just accept that he's dead. But pushing him forward would have preserved him until a later day, at least, because the king can't even go over there, and the bishop can't even see him, so now he's safe, essentially. Winning this pawn would become a whole task for my opponent. And instead of that, I push a pawn on the side of the board and just let him grab it for free. Didn't make any sense why I played like that, whatever. Then I can straight up just push this pawn right now. I guess I was worried about like checks and stepping away and him grabbing my knight. So I was worried about pushing this pawn and undefending the knight because the bishop attacks me and I have to step somewhere. But I can stay defending my knight from anywhere. Also, just pushing my passed pawn makes a fair bit of sense. I can just go boom, 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 boom. Like push this first. And if you start chasing it somehow, I can just defend it. And I got a chain of pawns. And I just do this same structure 1 step at a time. Either way, I made things a lot more complicated than they ever had to be. We're jumping around. I bring the king. The king is there. I put the knight to shield this square from the bishop so I can push this pawn. So we do push that pawn. And we push another pawn. The king's moving around. We step the king forward because my king is going to have to move forward anyway. King forward. We give a check. In between move. Give a check. Then we push the pawn. We push another pawn. Give a check. He steps back. and we bring the king up. I guess he forgot the knight was defending it. He didn't have low time. He had 3 minutes. So maybe he just gave up here and was like, screw it, I'm lost no matter what I do. It's hard to say. Maybe he thought it was a draw. I don't know. And then in this situation, all you have to do to not lose this game is just don't get a draw. And pawns on the side of the board kind of suck because they do, okay? And so, I mean, no, they don't. All pawns are good. All pawns are good pawns, all right? But generally, my plan is the king worries about this guy. I get my king here, and I push forward. And so that is literally what I go for. That is literally what I go for. Because there's probably a better way to, like, make a distraction or whatever. But you just don't want to stalemate. And so making the red carpet is the easiest way to go. So I know that wasn't the most accurate game. I missed a hanging bishop. I missed a tactic in the beginning. And then I made pushing these 3 pawns in the end game where literally any move was winning. I made it seem like it was a lot harder than it was. Literally, like, anybody could win that position. You just make a move and don't hang your knight. And so thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed or simply learned something, please subscribe. I'm trying to reach 1,000 and it is a long and treacherous road. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. I love you. Get out of here, and more chess coming soon.